The Miss Jamaica Universe contestant who fell from the stage in Thailand is hanging on by a thin little piece of thread.
Hello Jamaica, hello Universe. I am Dr. Gabrielle Henry, your Miss Universe Jamaica 2025. Jamaica! Gabrielle aspires to be Miss Universe.
She can pass away at any moment because what has happened to her is very serious. Very serious. And this story was widely covered by the local and the international media. And of all the persons around the world covering this story, 119, me little 119 we wanna see ya, was the only person on the face of this earth who came and told you that Dr. Gabrielle Henry had suffered a very serious brain injury. Nobody never tell me. Nobody never tell me so. And a lot of people were saying I love to speculate. It wasn't speculation. It was wisdom. All me do is use the sense where God give me, just like how God give the whole of his sense. Me just engage my brain. That's all me do. And I said to myself, because the Miss Universe organization reported that she had no broken bones, I said to myself, if she has no broken bones and she was rushed to intensive care after a fall, then it could only be one thing: a serious brain injury. And lo and behold, once again, 119 is right. When 119 talk, me no want hear no dog a bark. You no think 119 a fool, boy? You no think me a fool? I reported it with certainty. I came and said it, that she has suffered a very serious brain injury. And what she has suffered, ladies and gentlemen, 99% of persons who suffer it pass away. And lucky she's still there. Very lucky she's still there. Because she had what is called a intracranial hemorrhage, otherwise known as a hemorrhagic stroke. And what that means in plain language is when Jamaican people say your blood vessel bust in your head. And we all know that when your blood vessel bust in your head, you know what is next. 6'6". 6'6". So lucky she lucky. And she's not out of the woods. In fact, she's still deep into the woods. No make no dopey fool, you know. What has happened to this young lady is a very sad thing, man. It's a very sad and a very serious thing. And it hurt my heart to see how them are treated with scant regard. Okay. The Miss Universe organizers have been treating it with scant regard. And it is their fault because they have some opening in the stage. Me did I say look at the girl now, pay attention and walk off the stage. I know that happened. It's not that happened. There are some circle, some kind of opening thing in the stage where the girl fall through. That is what happened. That's what happened. And so now she's returning home. And she's returning home, not to her home, but to hospital. And here is the headline in the Jamaica Observer. And it says, Henry to continue treatment in Jamaica after being critically injured. Miss Universe. It says, Miss Universe Jamaica 2025, Dr. Gabrielle Henry, is set to return to the island in the coming days, accompanied by a full medical escort team. You hear that? Then can't make she travel by herself. Them have to send a medical team with her. Medical team with her. It goes on to say, full medical escort team after suffering head trauma and other injuries in a fall from the stage during the Miss Universe pageant in Thailand last month. The Miss Universe organization gave the update in a media release on Monday, adding that Henry will be transferred directly to a hospital in the country for continued treatment and recovery. Aye, sir. We don't know when she'll come out of the hospital, you know. We don't know when poor little Gabrielle will be able to leave the hospital. And sadly, that if she leave. Them hide it from now. Now if you know how critical the situation is, she no must left the hospital, and that are the God Almighty truth. It goes on to say, according to the organization, Henry suffered a serious fall through an opening on the stage while performing her walk during the preliminary competition on November 19, 2025. And I just know them until we say it's serious. And they go on to say now, when they realize they can't hide it no more, because everything's supposed to be a secret. Oh, it's a private affair. Somebody helped the girl out there representing Jamaica, and it's a private affair. It's a private affair. She was representing all of us. It's not a private affair. It goes on to say, while performing her walk in November, resulting in an intracranial hemorrhage with loss of consciousness, a fracture, facial lacerations, and other significant injuries. An intracranial hemorrhage is the same thing as a hemorrhagic stroke. The organization said Henry was immediately admitted to intensive care in Bangkok, where she remained in critical condition under constant neurological monitoring and continues to require 24-hour specialist supervision. Oh, God, man. Boy, may I tell you, man, some things here happen in life, you see, man. Quote, from the time the incident took place, the Miss Universe organization has stood beside Gabrielle and her family as if she were their own. Oh, you deserve a pat on the back. Huh? Oh, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say here now? Trying to cover your asses? You're going to get a lawsuit on the box, so you better prepare some money. Assuming full and immediate responsibility without hesitation. Congratulations. I am not impressed. I am certainly not impressed, because this whole thing was being handled like as a cover-up. Was being hung like it was nothing serious. Like them just brush it aside. Oh, I'm glad she has no broken bones and there and this and that. That time the woman hung on by a thread. It continues. The organization has covered all hospital, medical, and rehabilitation expenses in Thailand. That are nothing. Only not start spending yet. As well as the accommodation and living costs for Dr. Henry's mother and sister, who have remained by her side throughout this difficult period, the organization said. Me want to listen to me now. And listen to me good enough. This is a bizarre, most bizarre thing that has happened to Dr. Henry now. Most bizarre. But oh my God. What is sad is that she was out there representing all of us, representing Jamaica. And when the thing happened to her, it's like everybody hide up. And so me being 119, not wanting to spread false information, I called the local organizers of the Miss Jamaica Universe And I spoke to one of the organizers, Carl. And he told me that Gabrielle is speaking. I'm happy to hear that she's speaking. But even if I pray to God. Let us all pray. Let us put our hands and heart together and pray for her full recovery, which is next to impossible, to be honest. Nobody ever suffers a hemorrhagic stroke and a full recovery. Well, it happened, but it's very rare. Very rare. She more than likely going to be paralyzed or something, in some kind of state where they not tell you about. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And I was happy when the organizer for the Miss Jamaica Universe told me that she's conscious and she's speaking. And so I can report that to you, that she's conscious and she's speaking. Come and talk to them myself, I call them. But this matter of her returning to Jamaica has been widely reported now. Now that them finally reveal the seriousness of the matter after 119 come long time come telling us how serious it is. Them finally are revealing, them finally waking up to the fact. All of the international media now.
New details about the moment that stunned the Miss Universe pageant. Miss Jamaica, Dr. Gabrielle Henry, walking on stage in a sparkling orange gown when suddenly she trips and falls, disappearing. The 28-year-old ophthalmologist rushed to the hospital. Now the pageant revealing she suffered a brain bleed with loss of consciousness, a fracture, facial lacerations, and other significant injuries.
Recovery from a TBI and a brain bleed is a long process. People are going to be in the hospital for quite some time as they deal with complications and the immediate fallout of the injury.
After the incident, she was admitted to the ICU in Bangkok under constant neurological monitoring. Now the organization says she's planning to return to Jamaica, accompanied by a full medical escort team, adding Henry will be transferred directly to the hospital for continued treatment and recovery. Miss Universe Fatima Bosch recently telling our Juju Chang about that terrifying moment on stage.
But the scenario was like too dark and you couldn't see what was going on, so she fell. And of course it wasn't her fault, like we have these huge like empty circles on the stage, so if you get distracted you just fall. Like all of us in the practice were worried about that.
The Miss Universe organization accepting full responsibility for the fall, writing, "From the time the incident took place, the Miss Universe organization has stood beside Gabrielle and her family as if she were their own, assuming full and immediate responsibility without hesitation." The statement also says the organization has covered all hospital, medical, and rehabilitation expenses in Thailand, as well as the accommodation and living costs for Dr. Henry's mother and sister. They have both remained by her side throughout this very difficult period. We don't know exactly when she's going back to Jamaica, just in the coming days, but we do know that she will likely go straight to the hospital there as she continues to recover.
It's a big story. It's a massive international story, and it has gained significance now. Now that them wake up to the fact that a some serious injury Gabrielle get. And Gabrielle is such a nice girl. Such a wonderful girl. I introduced you to her in a previous video where she spoke about herself extensively. If you don't want to meet her and know about her, you can go back, go watch that video there. It's on my channel. Just look for it. Miss Universe, Miss Jamaica, suffer serious brain injury. Just look for that. Cause me bust that. Me are the only person in the entire world bust that. So it is a massive story now. But what was sad was that when the incident occurred, the organizers, the Miss Universe organizers, and before me even move on, I want to say to the family of Gabrielle, you know how you liar yet? You get to no liar. Get to no liar ready, Get to no liar ready. Because some whole heap of money, who no forget. Whole heap of money. And when it happened, the organizers brush it off like kind of nothing serious. And here is a statement that was published by the organizer of Miss Universe when the incident first occurred. It said, "I would like to share with the Miss Universe family that are concerned for the health of our Miss Universe Jamaica that at 12 a.m. Bangkok time, that I have just left the hospital where she is being treated. I was there with her family and her, and thankfully there are no broken bones and she is under good care." And that gentleman's name is Mr. Rocha. Rocha wrote that. He said, "She will remain under observation for the rest of the night, and we will remain in touch with her family to support her. Our prayers go out for her prompt recovery." That was what they said. I like them a downplay the thing like I know nothing big, like I know something major. Something major. Major. You know, I really don't know why when these things happen, people think it's supposed to be secret. Because even when I called the local organizers of the Miss Jamaica Universe pageant, the gentleman was telling me that he can't divulge information about her condition. Why? What make? I don't know if we know she on a fast with us. We want to know. She's a representative of Jamaica. It's like if something happened to Usain Bolt or to any one of our representatives. We don't know. It's the same thing. We're not hide up. And don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. I'm going to make some doctors tell you, explain to you exactly what is happening with Dr. Gabrielle Henry. Me I go make some doctor tell you exactly what her outcome will be. Be careful and not believe me. Because if you say me I'm a doctor, so I'm probably not pay me no mind. Poor no know say me everything. Me a engineer, lawyer, doctor, Indian, chick. The only thing me can't manage is the farming. Me no farmer. Can't manage the farming. But I'm going to make the professionals explain it to you what is happening with Gabrielle. You just imagine. Say, for example, she was your daughter or your sister. And she enjoyed modeling, obviously, because she's an ophthalmologist, which is an eye doctor, which means that she never in it for no money or nothing. She just in it because she love it. She enjoyed doing it. That's why she entered the pageant. She entered the competition, probably to boost her confidence, probably for some kind of self-fulfillment, whatever the reason. But she decided to enter it. And not because not now go on for her. Because she got school, she's a certified medical doctor, and she just enter the thing just for have a little fun and for, her family must be wishing she never did. She didn't have to. And if she didn't, chances are, most likely, she would be fine today instead of being in hospital, hanging on by a thread. And she lucky. Cause almost everybody where this happened to, very few people survive. And that is the truth. But you just put yourself in that position. I don't know if she have any children. I don't think she have any children because I don't think so. But her family, they must be totally devastated. And even her friends. Because sometimes some things happen to we, we don't have no control over it, Sometimes some things happen and them just happen out of nowhere. But the fact that this was something that was optional, something that she actually opted to take part in. And a beauty pageant. There's normally no danger involved in a beauty pageant. There's normally no risk to life or limb in a beauty pageant. How on heaven's earth can someone enter something as harmless as a beauty pageant and end up being close to DED because of it? You see how bizarre this thing is? You see how bizarre this entire thing is? I mean, not tell a lie now. Me not tell a lie. Me sorry for her. God up heaven knows so me feel it for her. Me feel it for her like she my sister or my daughter or something, man. And when me watch her, go and watch the next video. The next video that I have on her. All her biographical information is in it. She talks about herself extensively. You get to meet her and to know her as a person and to see that she's a wonderful young lady. Wonderful young lady. And she doesn't deserve what has happened to her. I'm asking all of us as Jamaicans, at home and abroad, wherever you are right now, Christians and non-Christians alike, let us all include her in our prayers. A lot of us are God-fearing people, and we know that God works miracles. God is a miracle worker. When we go down on our knees to pray, remember Dr. Gabriel Henry. All the churches in Jamaica and all the Jamaican churches abroad, when we're not having service this Sunday, may I ask please and thanks, remember Dr. Gabriel Henry in your prayers. She's in a very precarious situation. Very precarious. Which is where I'm going to go now. I'm going to go now to let the professionals, make the doctor them tell you themselves, because you might not believe me. You might say 119, oh, 119 is just a chat off in head. That boy, they chat too much. Because they love to tell me, say, me chat too much, Me chat no for true. But when me chat makes sense, no. So you might think I chat too much. You might think that's serious, but it's very serious. And if you don't believe me, take it from the doctors.
What are the long-term effects of hemorrhagic stroke? When someone experiences a hemorrhagic stroke, it means there is bleeding in the brain. This serious condition can lead to a range of long-term effects that significantly impact a person's life. Understanding these effects is crucial for both survivors and their families. One of the most common long-term effects is persistent neurological impairment. Survivors may face weakness or paralysis on one side of the body. They might also struggle with speech and language, a condition known as aphasia. Coordination issues and sensory disturbances can occur as well. These challenges arise from damage to brain tissue caused by the bleeding and pressure it creates. The severity of these issues often relates to the size and location of the hemorrhage. Many individuals will need long-term rehabilitation to regain as much function as possible, but full recovery is rare. Cognitive effects are another significant concern. Memory loss, attention deficits, and difficulties with problem solving are common after a hemorrhagic stroke. Additionally, emotional and psychological challenges, such as depression and anxiety, frequently arise. These issues can stem from both the direct impact of the brain injury and the emotional toll of facing a sudden disability. The quality of life for many survivors tends to be poor. They often encounter difficulties in performing daily activities independently, leading to reliance on caregivers. The overall health-related quality of life is influenced by the extent of neurological impairment, physical disabilities, and complications like high blood pressure or recurrent bleeding. Mortality rates associated with hemorrhagic stroke are high, particularly in the early days following the event. For those who survive, the one-year survival rates can vary widely, ranging from about 35 to 49%.
Survivors may live for many years, but they often do so with significant disabilities that affect their daily lives. Complications can also worsen outcomes. Issues like hematoma expansion, increased pressure in the skull, and additional bleeding can lead to further long-term deficits. This highlights the importance of early intervention and management to improve survival rates and reduce long-term disabilities. From the perspective of first responders, recognizing the signs of a hemorrhagic stroke and ensuring rapid transport to specialized stroke centers is vital. Quick action can help limit brain damage and improve long-term outcomes. After the immediate crisis, coordinated rehabilitation and supportive care become essential to address the complex long-term effects and enhance the quality of life for survivors. In summary, the long-term effects of hemorrhagic stroke can be severe and multifaceted. They often involve ongoing neurological deficits, cognitive and emotional challenges, reduced independence, and a generally diminished quality of life. Early recognition and treatment, followed by comprehensive rehabilitation, are key to optimizing recovery and managing these long-term consequences.
Who no see say no fat 119 attack? Who no see say no foolishness me attack? It's a very unfortunate thing that has happened to this bright young lady. She's bright, smart, with her entire life ahead of her.
Hi everyone! Hello, guess who's here? Well, whoever asked for India yesterday, I hope you're online and I hope that you don't come back asking me why I didn't interview India, because I am now interviewing India. So you need to wake up if you're asleep and join the live. Thank you. Hello. Hi Tasha. Hi Noella. I know it's really late over in Jamaica. Someone says Miss India, hello. I know it's really late in Jamaica and you're heading to bed and prepping for bed, but as you guys know, I do my daily live in the morning here in Thailand. It's 12 hours ahead in Thailand. I think it's 9:38 a.m., so that means it will be 9:38 p.m. But yeah, so we're here in Thailand this morning. Good night. Good night. Your name is Ignorance? I don't think your name is Ignorance, but
How many hours of difference is there?
Jamaica, parts of Jamaica. So there are 13 parishes, but they're all within the same time zone. So it's just 12 hours behind us here now. So yeah, but lots of people. Some people are awake, some people are asleep. I would be asleep right now, so I don't blame anybody who's sleeping right now. But for all my late owls, my night owls, thank you for joining. Oh, thank you, Lyndon. Yes, thank you. Alrighty. So, guys, we just left Cora Hotel and we're heading to the airport now. And we are just so grateful for this experience. It's been so wonderful. I am working with 4 hours of sleep. Miss India, how many hours are you working with?
I slept at around 3, woke up at 7. So
Yeah, about 4 hours. Yeah, so we're running on E. Yay! Anywho, so we are just gonna do a quick interview about India. One thing that Jamaica has is that we're very culturally diverse. So there actually is quite a significant Indian population in Jamaica, and they're everywhere. I mean, people have actually mistaken me for being Indian. My heritage does not claim to be so, but you know, sometimes things kind of probably slip through the cracks. So I'm not known to be Indian, but people mix me up all the time. They're like, you have
Indian features.
yeah, well, that's the thing. So I'm curious as well. My sister did a 23andMe DNA test, and I don't think it listed Indian in it, but I'll have to check with her again. So this is very, very exciting. I'm sure lots of people here are very excited to know more about India as well. And so we're going to get right into it. So Miss India, can you tell us about your country? Tell us about like the capital of the country, the population size, where it's located geographically. Just a few facts.
The biographical thing that I did on her in my last video on her, she never revealed whether or not she have no man. But she pretty and nice. She must have a man. She must have a man. You can't imagine how that brother there. Anyway, in there with my ball, night and day. You know, just put yourself in the situation, man. Let us have some love. We still have love, don't we? We still have love, and we don't. Let us have some sympathy and some care for Dr. Gabrielle Henry. Because what happened to her never should have happened. It never should have happened. I mean, I tell you how serious the thing is what happened to her. I mean, I take it from one source. Me I go in on some harder thing you know and make you see how serious it really is.
Over 3 million people die from hemorrhagic stroke every year around the world. And those who survive are often left with long-standing disability. Hi, I'm Chris Anderson, Chief of Stroke and Cerebrovascular Diseases at Brigham and Women's Hospital and Associate Professor of Neurology at Harvard Medical School. And this is Clues to Cures, History of a Cure for Hemorrhagic Stroke. Hemorrhagic stroke is a devastating neurologic condition. It occurs when a blood vessel breaks inside the brain and causes blood to leak out, injuring the brain inside of the skull. This blood pushes on the brain and causes nerve cells to begin to die in just a few minutes. The blood vessel that bursts can be due to an underlying condition such as an aneurysm or arteriovenous malformation, or due to long-standing weakening of the blood vessels due to conditions like hypertension or high blood pressure. Millions of people around the world die from hemorrhagic stroke every year, and those that survive are often left with lingering symptoms such as weakness, speech and swallowing difficulties, and even dementia. Over 2,000 years ago in ancient Greece, Hippocrates, who's considered by many to be the father of modern medicine, grouped stroke into a collection of diseases that he called apoplexy, which in ancient Greek meant struck down by violence. In his eyes, patients with stroke seemed just fine until they were suddenly affected by symptoms that he could not explain, such as an inability to speak, an inability to move part of their body, or in some cases, sudden death. Early physicians believed that there was some connection between the heart and the brain that was related to stroke, but it wasn't until the 1600s that physicians determined that there were really two forms of stroke. One in which a blood vessel is blocked, depriving the brain of blood, that's called an ischemic stroke, and the other in which blood vessels burst, causing blood to leak into the brain, called hemorrhagic stroke. While in ischemic stroke, there are several new innovative therapies that we can offer to remove blood clots and restore blood flow, treatment of hemorrhagic stroke remains limited and is often focused on preventing the hemorrhage from happening in the first place, as well as novel treatments to limit the damage caused by the bleeding and to prevent bleeding from happening again. As soon as a patient with hemorrhagic stroke arrives at the hospital, medical teams work to quickly lower their blood pressure to limit further bleeding, as well as to reverse the effects of any medications being taken to thin the blood. If the hemorrhagic stroke is due to an aneurysm or blood vessel malformation, surgeons work to repair the blood vessel before it has a chance to bleed again. But so far, there is no treatment that's been proven to stop or reverse the damage caused by hemorrhagic stroke. But several research studies are ongoing investigating ways that might happen. The biggest risk for hemorrhagic stroke comes from elevated blood pressure or hypertension. Researchers at Mass General Brigham are working hard to discover new ways to identify patients who are at a high risk of hemorrhagic stroke or a high risk of hard-to-treat blood pressure using things like genetics, social determinants of health, and other risk factors.
None of us knows what the future holds for us. We can't just walk down the road and sitting where least expect us happen to you, so. No, we don't know. That's the lesson out of this, man. I am sure there was the least of thought wasn't in Dr. Gabrielle Henry's mind when she walked up on that stage that night that something terrible might happen to her. She was on show for the world in what was a glamorous event. She was on top of the world, living out her dreams, and boop! In this flash of a moment, everything changed. So all of we will love both off. Love both off and go on upon one another. The whole of we are mere mortals. We are mere human beings, flesh and blood, no matter how much money you have and what go on for you. Humble no little self. Humble no self. That is the lesson from all of this. All of this. We all should walk away with a lesson that we should live in humility, because at any moment, anything can befall any one of us. 119